Good morning. It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see change, we do need to shift and change the energy within. And hopefully, my readings can bring you the information that you need to be able to shift the energy. So, I'm going to be looking to my left and looking in front of me because I have TikTok over here to my left and I have YouTube here in front of me. Pearl's Prayers and Tuned in Tarot are my TikTok accounts, and I am streaming from my Tuned in Tarot account currently right now, where we are using a subscriber only chat. Good morning, Karen. Just to reduce the number of interruptions during the collective reading over on Tuned in Tarot TikTok. So that's where the personal readings will be taking place. But let's get into this juicy reading here. So divine feminine, she wasn't really telling us a whole bunch out the gate, so we'll start with masculine energy, but I am going to do the thing where I read back and forth between them. That's a newer style that I've been doing lately, and I like that. So let's start first with divine masculine. This is the second time I have seen this card today. This is the Hierophant energy, and the Hierophant is a card of tradition, high level spirituality, authority, sacred vows, commitment, faith, all of those different meanings. And in particular, this energy from the Hierophant for me today, and the fact that it is the overall energy surrounding the divine masculine, is that I really do think that this masculine is fully committed in some way. So your mind right now, your intellect, the part of you that takes action, that goes out and gets shit done, that part of you right now is committed at a high level, high level of commitment to yourself, to your passions, to following your dreams, to living the life that you've envisioned, to being emotionally available. It's literally anything that you wanted to create in your life, you're committed to. And so is the person that you're focused on right now. I also saw in today's TikTok reading, there was the Ace of Pentacles and the Hierophant card. And for me, that is marriage proposal. So this divine masculine has like marriage on his mind. So there's thoughts of being committed to something, really stepping up, really committing to something and doing it because you know that it's going to bring you joy. That's definitely going on right now with the masculine energy. Overall for divine feminine, Page of Cups energy. Also saw the Page of Cups today in the TikTok reading. So divine feminine, just kind of being heartfelt, heart-centered, just allowing herself to feel sort of innocent and just true love feelings. I just truly love. I put my heart into everything. It just delights me. I'm seeing there's a show that I've been watching with my mom called The Girls in Corfu. It's like a PBS like masterpiece theater show, and they are living in Corfu in Greece, and there's a boy named Jerry who actually wrote the story when he got older, but in the show he loves nature and he's always collecting all these different animals and studying them and wanting to know about them, and he's just so sweet and has this like wide-eyed curious, can't be kept from just being that wide-eyed child kind of an energy. And divine feminine is giving that. She's just like, she figured out how to water her own garden, and it's kind of a delight to do it. And then she feels that it's like allowing her to believe in things like true love and romance and all that kind of stuff right now. I also do think she's perceiving the divine masculine energy as childish but sweet. Like, I mean, there's just there's like an allowing him to be sweet kind of thing going on. So what's underlying all of divine masculine's thoughts and decisions and is this and his feelings in general? We have the 10 of cups, which is why I know that this Hierophant card is about being fully committed to what makes you happy, to what makes you feel filled up. And I don't mean temporary happiness, because the Hierophant card is not at all about temporary anything. It's about permanent, this is going to be the way that I live forever type of an energy. So right now you are committed in your mind to making sure that you feel spiritually fulfilled, because you know that that above anything else is going to make you feel good. So that right now is how the collective energy is thinking and feeling, which means your person, if they're a part of that person, is thinking now. And this is also associate that with the 10 of Pentacles, but this is definitely for me, this divine masculine wants to make a sacred commitment to the divine feminine, to have that family together, to grow that family together, knowing that will bring some sense of fulfillment. Underlying all of divine feminine's thoughts, decisions, and feelings, we have here this goddamn King of Cups energy, who is, of course, the fully grown up version of the bright eyed, bushy tailed Page of Cups energy. And the problem with this really wonderful energy of this King of Cups, because he really is a wonderful person, this is a person that is kind and caring, giving, compassionate, sensitive, psychic, all of the emotions, emotional mastery, etc. High level emotional IQ, but there is this shadow side of hiding those feelings or emotions, or keeping those feelings or emotions suppressed rather than letting those things out, because there is an avoidance of conflict in this energy. So that's how divine feminine is seeing the masculine underneath. She may have this, she may be like, oh, he's sweet, he's a little sweetheart, but underneath that she's like, but as good as he is, as great as he is, he's really avoidant. He's avoiding me. He may be numbing himself with substances too. That's something the King of Cups can do in his shadow. So divine feminine is just like, she's aware that this is a complex personality, that this is somebody who kind of oscillates between being very, very childish and then being, very mature and loving and guide like energy. And it just kind of goes up and down. She's aware. Okay. So first thing on divine masculine's mind, we have the devil. Didn't I just say divine feminine's intuition is on fire here? She knows the divine masculine has a tendency towards avoiding, and he will use addiction to avoid things. So we see divine masculine thinking, and this is the first thing on his mind. It's something he can't stop thinking about. He's obsessed with it. He's addicted to it. He's constantly thinking about it. Now, this could actually be an addiction that he's dealing with. It's the first thing he has to deal with is an addiction. For some, that may be true. For others, this may be the just the passion, the desire, the sexual desire, the intense pull of the divine feminine. This can also be about sexuality in general, feeling like the first thing on his mind is, getting his needs met in this way. And that may be because there's been distance between masculine and feminine energy. There's like built up repressed energy that's like the first thing that's on his mind, because there's about to be some fulfillment there. So that could be why that's showing up there. But it also can just be that he's really struggling with or dealing with being obsessive and watching and needing to leave that energy behind, because that's something that's being carried in to the current energy. Divine feminine, first thing on her mind, Nine of Wands. They're not too far off here, this energy. I do think it's been quite a while for both of them. There's this buildup or intensity here for both of them regarding the Knight of Wands energy, who of course we have like this surly teen that's on this bike with a plunger. So this is like wanting things to move fast, just feeling like passionately like things need to move much faster. I also am seeing here Knight of Wands will also bring up issues of love bombing and divine feminine. You know, if she's seeing masculine in this childish energy, she could be feeling like what he has done in the past, because would be my past placement that I'm looking at right now. What he has done in the past has tended to be that he has just rushed in, you know, expressed some kind of an intense sentiment and then fucked off again. And so she's feeling like the potential for that to happen is very high. And there's some concern coming from that Knight of Wands energy. She wants things to move faster, but she also doesn't want to lose momentum with this person in her life again. So divine masculine current energy, we have the Page of Wands and the Four of Cups. So the Page of Wands is about wanting to start something or initiate something, and the Four of Cups is about offers, receiving, making or receiving an offer. It's about rejection stuff. It's about just sitting there and fantasizing something or imagining something rather than doing it. It can be about missing opportunities in that way. With the Page of Wands, it's really interesting. So look at this. We have a zombie baby in this image in the Page of Wands that's gnawing on a bone. And in this image, we have a zombie feminine who's catering to this perfectly healthy looking masculine energy. And so what I'm seeing is the masculine is really aware that his really childish communication, babyish behaviors surrounding communication have completely drained the divine feminine to the point where she's almost dead to him. Like she's not talking to him. She's not offering him anything that he can like take and run with. She's not initiating conversation. She's not starting conversation. She's just tired of feeling drained by his energy. So she is in his mind, he feels like she is probably angry with him about this childish interaction. And that's what he's currently thinking. She's got to be angry with me for what I'm doing or not doing, what I'm saying or not saying. But she's got to be angry. I think I've drained her completely, getting that sense. Okay. Divine Feminine has a lot to say. What's interesting is that in the current energy, the masculine had 2 cards and Divine Feminine had 3 cards. So both of them have like a lot in this current energy to talk about. Divine Feminine, we got this trifecta here. We got the Justice card, which is my favorite card probably in all of the traditions of tarot. This is just a phenomenal card. Okay. We got the Knight of Cups, which is a card that will not die. And then we got the Tower card. And we're going to see the Tower card again. Not yet, but it's coming up. So in the current energy, Divine Feminine is, for some, so this is a collective energy. For some, I am seeing that they are trying to let go of a karmic energy. Now, I use the term karmic only as it's used in the collective, but I do not subscribe to the meaning of this term. The way that the collective uses karmic is to talk about people that are just temporary that you learn lessons from. However, all relationships are karmic relationships. There's not a single relationship that occurs that doesn't have lessons involved in it, that isn't about mirroring and understanding yourself through interactions with another person. So I use that term very lightly here. But what I'm saying is There are some in the collective who view their person as they're starting to view, or they have thought, or they realize that their person is not somebody that's going to be around forever, somebody that's really meant to be temporary, and then it's time to let go of that person. So, as a collective reading, I wanted to say that. For others in the collective, what this is about is finally seeing justice happen once you let go of the need to receive from the masculine, to receive anything from the masculine. Um, Whether that's an apology, like needing an apology, needing closure, needing, when you let go finally of that need, that's when justice really happens. That's when justice really comes in. I also think, too, divine feminine, there's some feminine energy that has decided that they would let go of the masculine as punishment for his behavior. So let me just tell you what, if you are letting go as punishment, that is not creating union, okay? That is creating more separation, okay? When you let go, because it is the for the highest good of all, that's what creates union. So when somebody tells you you have to let go of this person in order to get them, if you're letting go in order to get something, that's not how it works. If you're letting go in order to get revenge, in order to get that person, first of all, if you're letting go in order to get that person, I got news for you. You didn't let go. Because what you're letting go of, people always mistake this. People always think that when a reader says you have to let go of your person, it means you have to stop thinking about them and you can't ever, you know, imagine that you're going to be with them ever again and like all this kind of stuff. And that's not what we mean. At least that's not what I mean. When I say let go, what I'm talking about is your attachment to a singular outcome with this person. When in your life, let me ask you this question, I want you to answer it honestly. When in your life have you wanted something, and when you received it, every single thing that you wanted and thought would happen happened in order for you to receive that? How many can you count on your hands the number of times that you've said, you know, I want this, and then every single thing you imagined would happen played out, including every bad thing and every good thing? Is that a frequent experience that you have? If so, God bless you. You are an ultimate powerful manifester. For me, everything I've ever wanted, I've said, I want that. And then when I got it, it was in the most roundabout way that I ever, it would never have imagined it would have happened. It had layers that I was not planning for it to have. It wasn't anything like I imagined. So when we tell you to let go, what we're telling you to let go of is let go of your attachment to this thing happening in the way, shape, and form that you think it is meant to happen. And allow how it is truly meant to happen for you to unfold. Because you are limited in your perceptions. You are limited by your beliefs about yourself and about the world, but the infinite has no limitations. So if you give the infinite the power to grant you something, then don't limit it by your brain by being attached to how that thing comes. So when you tell yourself, I'm meant to be with someone forever, and it is this person, you're limiting yourself, because there may be someone else that you haven't met yet, or someone else that you're not realizing, or whatever shape or form that is. That's what we mean. So letting go is easier when you delete the photos off of your phone, when you gently pull back from social media. You don't need to block somebody unless they're harassing you. But when you, because blocking somebody so you can't see them is not choosing not to see them totally. It's, if you need to do it, do it. But for the most part, when you can actually make the choice not to look or to look, when it's in your power and you feel that it's in your power, that's when you have really let go of something. So those things have to be in place. So don't try to trick you. Everybody's trying to trick the universe. She's like, oh, I gotta let go of something. I'll just let go so I can get it. Like, bitch, who are you? You're playing with the most ancient power that's ever been known. So I feel like they're gonna figure your shit out, okay? All right, so if the masculine does not do something about this feeling, this idea he has that this feminine is drained by how he has been such a fucking baby whenever he's tried to communicate in any way, shape, or form. If he can't get over that, then we have this here. 10 of Swords. Stuck. Completely stuck. Nowhere to go. Just pinned to the ground by these thoughts, because the 10 of Swords, this is actually not actual implements of violence. This is actually thoughts, right, that hurt more than any weapons at all. So divine masculine wants to end this separation. He wants to end the way that he thinks about divine feminine. He knows that the way that he thinks about this connection is keeping him stuck. He's aware of it. He knows he has to stop this, that he has to completely end this, cut this behavior out. It's almost like it's something growing inside of him there with that zombie stuff. He's got to like cut it out of him. He can't think this way anymore. That's and that's what I'm seeing the commitment to. Look at what, so this is what he keeps getting, right? The swords, the head being stuck in the head. It's not good. What is he committed to? He's committed to the 10 of Cups. He's committed to that emotional and spiritual fulfillment and feeling instead of thinking constantly. So that's nice. Divine feminine, where is she heading? Bitch, this 5 of Swords. So honestly, I'm happy to see this because this card is about surrendering and giving up on something. I'm getting so many. There's a group text going off. I apologize. It's somebody's birthday today, so everybody's like, "Happy birthday, happy birthday!" So it's gonna ding for a couple minutes. It's Nicole's birthday. If she's here, happy birthday, Nicole. So the 5 of Swords is about finally cutting something out, giving up on something, walking away from something. Just and for me, this is really good because this is like, I can't think about it anymore. I can't think about it anymore. I can't think about how this is going to happen, when this is going to happen, why this is going to happen, who's going to happen through I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. That's when shit happens. When you're finally like, because thinking about something is your illusion of control. It is your illusion of trying to have some kind of control over something. I'm also looking at these dings as confirmation. So whatever I'm saying when it goes off, it's probably important. Okay, so what is divine masculine obsessing over? We saw over here this devil energy. What is he actually obsessing over? Oh, just the divine feminine, the Queen of Cups, who is literally consuming his brain. Do you see how she's like literally eating his brain in this image? So he cannot stop thinking about divine feminine. She is completely got his brain in her. She's just, it's done for him. There's no room for any other thoughts or any other ideas or anything else. He's just completely obsessed and focused on her, and he has been doing that for a very, very, very long time. He thinks she's very beautiful. He thinks she's very kind and caring and generous, and he's obsessed also and addicted to the love that he feels that comes from her. Divine feminine. What does she want to say here about this Knight of Wands energy that she's carrying in? Oh my God. The Queen of Cups. It's the same fucking card in the same position. And it's this. Also, by the way, we see divine feminine here in this bikini. She's looking pretty provocative on a beach. We also saw her here on the beach as well. So this divine masculine can't stop thinking about enjoying their time together. That's the nice way of putting it. Divine feminine really ready for that action. She's ready for the action here. The Knight of Wands. But look at Divine Feminine in this image. She's sitting there with the she's ready to listen, she's loving, she's compassionate. She wants to be swept off of her feet. She wants to feel, she doesn't want to be love bombed. She wants to have this loving energy come from the masculine. She wants to have her energy matched. She doesn't want him to be all like, hey baby. She wants him to be like, I love you. Like, it's just a different kind of an energy than he's been in the past. She wants him to listen, to be compassionate, to be kind, to be generous, to nurture her, not just try to woo her or, you know, make her feel desired. Wants to feel loved, not just desired. That's definitely something that is coming up for her. I'm seeing my signal over here is, oh, thank you for the heart, Rachel. I appreciate that. I'm seeing my signal went out a little bit there. What I was saying is that Divine Feminine doesn't want to just be desired passionately like this anymore. She wants to be loved passionately. And not just have shallow interactions. She wants deeper interactions. So what is clarifying this for Divine Masculine of this, exactly what she's not wanting here, this shallow kind of Page of Wands energy that's kind of put a drain on their relationship. We have the Six of Cups here, which is all about reunion, the past, bliss, innocence, childhood. And in both images, I just want to note, because I think it's very significant. In both images, we have one counterpart is toxic and the other is healthy. And in the first image, we see starting out a toxic Divine Masculine and a healthy feminine. This is in the past. And now what the Divine Masculine feels has happened is that he has gained all of this health, this vibrancy from the feminine, and ended up with this toxicity left. Like, now she's drained of her. My signal is not working on my phone, so I just got off my Wi-Fi over there. So he's feeling that he has drained her, that he has, in the past, she shows up in his life. She's this beautiful, innocent, healthy energy. All she did was love him. She embraced him and all of his like toxicity. And then, he did nothing. He remained this child. He didn't do anything. He didn't make any moves. He didn't offer her anything, nothing. He didn't pour anything back. In fact, he like maybe even brought additional stress or strain into the connection. I'm seeing some people that even had children from another situation. Then he feels like, he just really feels like he messed this up. He messed up this reunion between them. He wanted to reunite and have both of them be happy and joyful, and instead he feels good and Divine Feminine doesn't. That's what he thinks and feels right now. Divine Feminine, her energy of the Tower, the Knight of Cups, and the Justice card is being clarified by the Hermit energy in reverse. So this is Divine Feminine saying, I'm not going to be alone anymore. I am not. If I have to let go of this person that I've been focused on, then I fucking will, because I am not going to be alone anymore. I have taken enough fucking salt baths for a goddamn century. Like, if I'm not cleansed of all my negative energy and ready to have the life that I was dreaming of, I don't know what the fuck I would need to do at this point. I'm not going to be alone anymore. It's not fair. It isn't fair. And I refuse to allow it. Divine Feminine's like, that's not happening for me anymore. So I'm going to be with somebody. I don't care. I don't care. That's her energy. Remember, I said we were going to see the Tower again. I like to see it here because here we have the Ten of Swords and the Tower. So this is divine masculine dismantling the way that he has been thinking about the connection. What he doesn't realize is that him thinking about the connection this way is actually what drains the divine feminine. If he stopped making these assumptions or thinking all of these things or basically beating up on himself or berating himself, or if he stopped doing that, the painful separation would end, because divine feminine doesn't feel that way. Divine feminine doesn't feel completely drained by the masculine. If she does, she's probably at an earlier stage of her journey. The divine feminines that are at the point of reunion are not feeling drained. They feel that they finally learned where to get their health and vibrancy from. And it came from really causing him to stay stuck in his life. This is not what happened. He didn't drain the feminine energy and now she's dead inside. And he has to stop thinking that way. So this is you thinking that something is over when it's not over. Like if you have a passion or an interest that you've been pursuing or you always want to pursue, and you thought, and you've been thinking, no, I can't do that because I didn't practice enough when I was younger, or I can't do this because that, this, and the other thing. Letting that thinking go is the only way that you're going to be successful and in being fulfilled in whatever creative endeavors you have. So that's how you can apply that to your own life. The final card for Divine Feminine, I give up. I'm just going to be single and fabulous right now with my Nine of Pentacles energy. I'm not going to try to make this work out with this specific person. I give up that specific person. I let that go. And I, rather than be alone waiting for this particular person or whatever, I am just going to fully honor that I am single and that I can get rewarded for the work that I've put in. And I have a lot of options and a lot of really solid offers that are coming my way or going to come my way, because I know that as soon as I let go, then these things will pour in and I'm ready for it to receive it. So I feel my independence. I feel like taking care of myself and putting the time and energy into myself is fulfilling, and I'm willing to do that, and I don't need anyone else to make me feel that energy. So this is an interesting check-in. This is a self-aware masculine energy right now, knowing the way that you're thinking is harming you, knowing the obsession you have on romance or relationships is distracting you from actually achieving some of the things that you want to achieve. It's ironically keeping you alone rather than helping you come into a union. Okay, let's look at the oracles today. We have Wasp Spirit coming in with the protection message about life. Sometimes life stings. This is number 64. It says, are you holding on to anger, jealousy, or resentment because you got stung? Or could you have just stung yourself by comparing yourself to others? There will always be someone else who is more successful, happier, thinner, richer, etc. Jealousy is the false belief that you can't have what you want, or someone could take away something that was supposed to be yours. Let it go. This is full moon this week too, people. So these let it go messages are significant. Let it go and release all those feelings that are making the sting hurt long after the stinger has been removed. Wasp Spirit has woken you up, and now you are called to trust that disappointment can lead you to a different and better path. Align with Spirit now and trust that this too shall pass and is already doing so. For the pain subsides when you stop telling the story of how much it hurt. So I want you to listen to how you're talking to your friends, and I want you to think to yourself, am I telling them the story of the life that I want or the story of the life that I don't want? Because whatever story you're telling is the life that you're going to be leading. Number 52 is mending. I always forget that this is like the last card. Forgiveness, making amends, and healing after arguments. So here's more about that resentment. So if you feel you're holding resentment in your connection, then forgiveness is in order right now. Each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal: the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, and the arguments that we rehearse over and over. Now is the time for letting go of the old hurt in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to make peace and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. The relationship messages: you've come to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you're to move forward. Separate or together, you and the other person are still experiencing the effects of a hurt that is impacting everything you do, even if you're not aware of it. The energy needs to clear. What must you do to bridge this gap? Closing your heart is not the answer. You have the power to heal this wound. Ask yourself, what would love do? Only good will come of forgiveness and an honest redress. The prosperity message is: everyone makes mistakes. You may come to realize that in chasing after a pretty shiny thing, you lost sight of long term sustainable prosperity. Sometimes you make choices that look good at first, but ultimately lead to loss or failure. It's time to forgive yourself and others. Don't blame anyone else. You get to start again, wiser and more mature. The journey to true abundance can be bumpy. Make amends to anyone you may have hurt along the way, especially yourself. Forgive those who may have taken advantage of you. Let go and learn from this. You are now that much closer to achieving the kind of prosperity that really fulfills you. Nothing is ever lost or wasted when you view it from this perspective. So, so divine masculine really feels he needs forgiveness, I believe, for this whole thing. And divine feminine, you likely do need to forgive divine masculine for this whole thing. Forgiveness means it never gets brought up in an argument again. It's put behind you. You never get to call back and be like, remember when you left me on red for 20 years? You don't get to do that. When you forgive somebody, it's a burden you no longer carry. It doesn't take up mental space. It's gone. There's no energy feeding it. So masculine energy really needs to forgive himself. And this is you. This is your mind. You need to forgive yourself for allowing a masculine identifying gender for some to drain your life force from you, because this was by your permission. You, by focusing in this devil energy. See, y'all think these readings are about another person, and they are. But they're only about another person because that other person is a reflection of you. So when you first went through this part of the reading and I read all this, you were definitely thinking about another person. You weren't thinking about how your obsession with that person loving you is something that took away your power. You weren't thinking that constantly allowing your focus to be on someone else was draining you. You were thinking about how that person that you're focused on is recognizing this about themselves. But this is you. You are your person. See, everybody in the Twin Flame Collective wants to say, "Oh, this person is me. They're just me. They're this one soul." There's this whole fucking story that everybody talks about, and nobody actually believes in what they're saying. And the proof is because if you really did believe that that other person is just you, first of all, you would also need to believe that every other person is you, because you are every other person. You literally are just one consciousness expressing itself over and over and over in myriad ways. You are everything and everyone. And that is like a basic principle of spirituality and at this point, science, right? Like we all are energy vibrating. So you really would think whatever that person was doing is what I'm doing in my life. And if you don't think like that, then you don't really believe that that person is your soul. Which is fine. You don't have to believe that if you don't want to. I think that's a limiting belief. I believe we are all one soul. And every single one of us has an opportunity to just experience being alive. And if we didn't incarnate, there'd be no way to experience that. And I'm a curious person. I'm a reader, an avid reader. I've read every single book I could get my hands on since I was like 2. I started reading super early, and I just read and read and read and read every book ever. And I got to tell you that I love every single different type of book that I ever read about every single type of culture in every place. And I love books because books give me the opportunity to be this person who grew up in this very small town in northern New York without a lot of opportunities and not a lot of people who cared about the things I cared about. And I was able to get a book, and I was able to go to Europe, and I was able to go to Russia, and I was able to go to the Middle East, and I could go to all these different places, and I could hear the thoughts of all these different characters, and I could experience the experience of all these of people who were addicted to drugs, of serial killers, of people that I would never be or have those experiences. That's what I did. And I can't get enough. And I watch shows, and I watch movies, and I consume media, and I watch influencers live their lives and buy their coffee and get their nails done. And I watch the housewives fucking buy Birkin bags I don't even give a shit about. And I do it because it's interesting. It's interesting. And I don't think that the higher consciousness has a bigger mission than that. I don't. I think that this is interesting. And every single person and every single way of being is interesting. And I think the curiosity I have is the core of the creator. The person who creates something does it because they're curious about something. They're curious about what will happen when they make it. And then they experience it over and over and over again. When I make a song, I listen to it a billion times. I used to feel ashamed of that. Like I would make a song, listen to it over and over again, and I'd be like, "Oh, you're such a narcissist." Why did I make it? I made it because I had this idea. And then when you have an idea and it happens and you listen to it, it's satisfying. So this is all happening so that we can be satisfied, that we can be filled up with the 10 of cups. That's why this is all happening. So the person that you're focused on is your mirror to show you the ways that you can pivot and adjust within so that your life can be fantastic. And every person offers that opportunity. And the person that you choose as your twin flame or your twin soul or your divine counterpart, and it is a choice you make. I know you think it's not, but there's a lot of things you don't think you're choosing to do, but you definitely are. That person that you choose is significant, not just because they're this one soul that broke off of something big. No, they're significant because truly every person is, and that person teaches you that lesson. So there's nobody more significant than the first person who teaches you that every person is significant. Every person deserves unconditional love. Every person deserves forgiveness. Every person is worthy of your time, attention, love. And that lesson of you having that experience with that person is then reflected back to you, where that means that you are worthy of love and attention and time. You are worthy of forgiveness. You are worthy of all of the things that that person that you have chosen and selected is worthy of. That's the lesson. I know you want it to be more glamorous, like the end of an Indiana Jones movie, like a treasure chest with a key in it that shows you that your twin flame was the one that you're supposed to be with. But when you really learn this lesson, and my words won't teach you, Abraham Hicks always says words don't teach, but you'll remember my words. This moment, you didn't learn that lesson in just me speaking this to you. You will learn this lesson and you'll go, "Oh yeah, that's right. That's what will happen." Because I can say it to you, but you'll still believe what you believe, and that's fine. That's good. That's what you're supposed to do. But eventually you'll be like, oh, it's what the message that was being channeled. Because truthfully, this is a message being channeled through me. I haven't even completely fully embodied this lesson. I would hope I'm close. All right, so take a moment. We're going to give you these last two cards. I'm going to give you a self-care activity, and I'm going to give you a sign to look for. So before I give you the sign, I want you to take a moment to envision. Hey, Cheryl. I want you to take a moment to envision what you would like this sign to be in regards to. Can a sign that shows that you're on the right path. It could be a sign that the person that you're with is a person that you should be focused on at this time. It could be about you could do a timing sign where you give yourself an X amount of time, like 24 to 48 hours. When I see after I see this sign, then this will happen or this will take place or I will make this decision. So just take a moment and think about what you would like this sign to be about when you see it. So okay. So the number is significant and also all of the elements on this card, not just any one single thing, but any of these could be active as signs for you. So we have the number 24. We have this literal sign, a motivational sign that says never give up, which I might add is what Divine Feminine wants to do here. The 5 of Swords energy. And it says phrases and motivation. So motivational phrases or signs, or if you see like if you go into a doctor's office and you see like one of these signs and it captures your attention, that is significant for whatever you just decided this would be significant for. So let me just give you the additional meanings. This is from Crystal Banner's Signs of the Times Oracle. It's a great deck. I highly recommend it. Look around and see how you can be motivated and inspired by the quotes and phrases that appear on walls, billboards, t-shirts, etc. Whether you are handed a bag that says, "Have a nice day" on your way out of the grocery store, or see an inspirational quote reading, "Never give up," these words can motivate you at a time when you may not even realize you need it. This card encourages you to incorporate affirmations into your life as a way of positive reinforcement, to be your own cheerleader. It's time to overcome any conscious or subconscious blocks or doubts. If there is something you are trying to pursue, create affirmations that are aligned with those goals. Post quotes that speak to you online or on the refrigerator in the kitchen, or create a vision board. Believe in your ability to create the life you desire by speaking it into existence. The additional meanings are: messages are being sent to you via words, phrases, and songs. Find inspiration in your surroundings. Your projects are supported. Create your own personal list of affirmations to keep you on track, and identify what motivates you. And confirmation. Those are all of the meanings when you do see this sign again in your environment. And this is also a sign not to give up on something if you've been thinking about giving up on something. Your self-care card. Sound healing, something I do all the time. I actually have been using my new bowl that I got as my birthday present for a lot of my for the cleansing for my decks now, which I didn't used to do. I used to do more of a incense type of a thing. But so yeah, sound healing. This is number 47. I will give you your mantra and your journal prompts. Sound healing is amazing. I've had immersive sound healing experiences that are just unforgettable. So your mantra is, I hope I was on the right page. I receive healing energy with grace and ease. So this is something I haven't thought to say. I should add that to my practice. If you've been doing like Reiki healing sessions on YouTube or something, or going to a practitioner, before you go to do this session, make sure you affirm that you receive the healing energy with grace and ease, that it's not blocked and coming towards you, that it can just flow toward you. The journal prompt is: participate in a sound healing and write about your experience before, during, and after the journey. how do you feel in your mind, body, and heart? I used to work with a sound healer when I lived in Los Angeles during COVID, who would do virtual sound healing sessions, and they were amazing. So if you can do an actual full session, there's so many on YouTube you can do if you don't have the um, prosperity to work with a practitioner, but I highly recommend it. Um, One thing I learned recently is a lot of times people will be like, you know, the root chakra is C and sacral is D and E and F and G and A and B, whatever. But accurate, but when you are wanting to move through the different chakras, changing the pitch just helps you to change which one you are focused on. It's just your mental focus that's going on. Because there'll be stuff that says, like, this tunes you to this and this tunes you to that. And after doing some research, I found that that's probably not accurate, but it doesn't matter because you're just in pitch with like shifting up the scale. That's just a side note, something I learned recently. Anyway, explore sound healing. There's many options for sound healing, and that is a self-care activity that you should try to fit in today, definitely. And since this is a weekly reading for me, maybe throughout the week, revisit sound healing. Try different pitches, try different modalities, see what works well for you. And this is a good thing to do in the morning and in the evening. And I highly recommend morning and evening rituals, even if you can only give yourself 5 minutes to do them, because it helps you to set your intentions before you go to sleep so that you wake up in a better headspace. And then when you wake up, it helps you set your intentions through the day. So I know that you know that, but I've recently worked with a mindset coach who insisted upon a morning routine. I have a great nighttime routine. I did not have a good morning routine. And since I have done that, I have seen a lot of improvement. In fact, I have a new weekly client, which brings me to the conclusion here of the reading and all the information about working with me one-on-one. I'm shifting more into one-on-one focus instead of doing as many just like live personal readings and stuff like that. I'm still doing that, but I'm focusing more on working one-on-one with people because I want to help people over the long term and not just, when they're having a bad day in their relationship. Like, I really want to help people to get the tools they need to basically not need me to help them, kind of a thing, and for them to help themselves. So I've been working with people. I have a few openings. If you're interested and you would like to work with me on a weekly basis, know that my hourly one-on-one session for a weekly basis is negotiable. That is income based. You let me know what you can afford for an hourly rate to work with me, and I will meet you where I can. So just don't ever be intimidated by that hourly price. If you intend to work on a weekly basis, it's definitely something that we can discuss. And if you want to discuss that, there's a few different ways to do that. You can send me a question on the Q&A form on tunedintarot.com. There is an Ask Me Anything. You can click on that, let me know you want to work with me, and we will coordinate. You can send me an email at tunedintarot@gmail.com. All of the ways to reach me are on my websites and in the description box, so you can totally find all of those things. But I do have some room for a few more people, so if you're interested, let me know. The other thing is I have one support group running. I'm going to keep that one going, and I work with a couple of clients in that support group. Nicole's in that client, and that Cheryl. It's like Nicole, Cheryl, Kylie, and Ash. We all have this group that we've been doing since January. I don't want to disrupt that group. I feel like the smaller the group is, the more intimate, the more helpful you can be. So I want to start another support group for people that I'm working with. I have a few new people coming in, and I'm wanting to start a monthly or bi-monthly, depends on what the group wants, support group, so that we can get together with me, have a little video chat, discuss what's going on in our lives, pull some cards, talk about it. I've been doing this every month with my other group, and they are really thriving, and it's been great for all of us, and it's been a lot of fun. And so I want to open up another group to do that. That doesn't mean I will be managing two groups. However, I feel like I could totally do that because the first group is kind of self-sustaining at this point. Basically, I want to try to get you to be able to support one another and help each other out. Like we text each other when we're proud of things we've done. We text each other when we need support. We talk about where we're at. And if that sounds like something that you want to be a part of when you work one-on-one with me, you will have that option because there is a new group that's forming right now. So come start working with me now so you can get in on that next group that's starting up. All right. Let me think if there's anything else. Today is Monday. Tomorrow's my day off. I will be back on Wednesday for what I usually do. For sure, you can catch me on Saturday at 7 p.m. On Tune and Tarot. I will be doing some readings with Luna, and then we will hop over to Pearl's Prayers for the Mind My Biz study hall. I guess we're calling it. It's kind of a class, kind of a study hall. Basically, we are just small business owners, and we are doing a small business, turn your passions into a small business type of a worksheets together, and just talking about our progress and our difficulties and things that are good and things that we want to do better. And it's kind of cool, and it's a good way to network with other small business owners. I want to do a giveaway, a collaborative giveaway where we sort of help each other grow our businesses. And so if you're part of those, if you're part of the classes on the weekends, I will be able to include you in the collab giveaways when we start to do those. So definitely take advantage of all the free stuff that's out there. And I'm going to say goodbye to my YouTubers here and focus now back over on to TikTok for personal readings, which I will do for a few more minutes, and then I will have to go. All right, everybody, take care. Have the best day today. Thank you for being here with me, and I will see you again soon. And it is your turn.